Look closely, son of your bitch mother. I don't give a damn, I'm telling you straight up. I don't sleep like the pirate or the little guy from Culiacan. I'm immortal, I'm untouchable, and I made a pact with the devil, bastard.
Being trendy, seeking likes, reaching thousands, millions become the goal of many in their social media career for fame, money, and a life full of luxuries is a tempting goal for any influencer. But what happens if in achieving that you offend the wrong people? What happens if you make a video and say something just to get millions of views? You put your very life at stake. There were influencers who crossed a very dangerous line by naming or messing with people dedicated to crime and to eliminating from this planet people they see as threats or simply don't like. Today I'm going to tell you about the most resonant cases of TikTokers and influencers who angered the wrong people. Rodolfo Marquez, known as El Fofo, caught attention on social media by showing off an extravagant lifestyle full of luxuries and parties where he and his friends would spend over 1 million Mexican pesos per night on drinks. Born into a multi-millionaire family, his grandfather amassed a great fortune by manufacturing footwear for Mexico's opulent elites. A fortune that grew with his father, owner of the Total oil and gas stations, which gave Fofo the extraordinary luxuries to show off on his social networks. It was common to flaunt his eccentric life through the cell phone screen, especially his cars, among which he has a Lamborghini, a Camaro, a Porsche, among many cars, worth millions of pesos. He also boasted about his pets, one of which he gave to his girlfriend was a lion cub and a jaguar that he even bathed with champagne. Clearly, this act led to allegations of animal cruelty. However, his viral and popular videos of parties, luxuries, and controversies reached a new level when in July of 2022, he decided to close the busy Matut Remus Bridge in Guadalajara.
What we're going to do is we're going to close it, we're going to park the ships like this, and we're going to literally close it. I mean, the cars, probably people are going to get upset and start honking, but it's a display of power. Look, look, look. Let's start dancing on the bridge.
I shut down the peripheral for my personal use. Once again showing what money and power can be here in Mexico, and nobody swims me. The people are really annoying, they're filming me, so don't film me, I'm a public figure.
Simply because he wanted to. Simply to have the bridge for him and his friends. Simply to show off his luxury cars. Simply to prove that he had the money and power to do it. Of course, his act had consequences, and we're not talking about the legal ones, because here, well, no, that doesn't exist. And the state's slap on the wrist, that was nothing. An insignificant fine of 35,000 pesos, a minimal amount, nothing for him, but there is a power much greater than the local authorities and all the money of the wealthy Marquez family. And this is the power of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, the 4 most fearsome letters in the world. A message that shook the influencer is circulating through social media. This referred to the bridge's cutoff. It's an act that we will not tolerate. Much less will we let any jerk like this come and do these kinds of things. We are the ones who rule in Jalisco and all of Mexico. And to you, Fofo, we will only tell you to be careful because we will not let you come to Guadalajara thinking you can do whatever you want. In Jalisco, Mr. Mencho is the boss. If we see you again in Guadalajara, we will pick you up and then not even all the money is going to help you. And that's how the influencer immediately apologized, but the scare changed his life. He didn't stop uploading videos. The difference was that his new content was showing off his mansion and the 30 people he hired as private security. 100 guards accompanied his family everywhere. However, in February of 2024, the TikToker became a trend again and caused a great stir with a controversy. In the parking lot of a shopping plaza in La Brisa neighborhood, a 52-year-old woman accidentally brushed her car against the side mirror of Fofo's car, who reacted in a despicable, terrible way and gave the woman a tremendous beating, even with kicks, towards the lady while she was on the ground. The repudiation was obviously immediate, and it's been 2 months with the influencer in prison waiting for a trial to determine whether he will spend years serving a sentence or will be released by paying a fine. During the hearing, the wealthy youth wept, expressing fear of dying in prison. And he had plenty of reasons, because on a pedestrian bridge in Tijuana, the upper part of a body appeared and a blanket with a clear message. Touch a woman again, and this will happen to you and your entire family in Tijuana, Mexico City, Guadalajara. Wherever you are, damn hallucinating kid, Fofo Marquez. Sincerely. The house's people. From a blow to fame. What may be a shame for many, for this boy, it was a path to a life full of luxuries and excesses that he always dreamed of. And it is that, unlike Fofo, the Pirate of Culiacan, grew up with needs. He was born as Jose Luis Laguna Rosales, and what he knew best in his first months of life was abandonment. His father fled before he was born, and his mother left him at a very young age in the care of his grandmother, Maria Rosales Torres. He helped his grandmother with the household economy, and from a young age, he went out on the street to dedicate himself to the street sale of tamales, pozole, and other foods. However, like many young people, he dreamed of the Narco, with its luxuries, money, parties, and women. As a teenager, he started working as a packer in a supermarket where he met the bad company that this was becoming. Illegal substances and alcohol became a habit, until his grandmother admitted him to a rehabilitation center, but the young man escaped to Culiacan to work as a windshield cleaner, and that's where his life changed. With these new friendships linked to the mafia, to drug trafficking, although he never became part of any organization. Criminal, he did start partying until that video went viral. From there, thousands and thousands of people began to follow him on his social networks, which gave him access to the life he desired. It was common to see him posting with expensive watches, jewelry, cars, gold-plated guns, narco-style military clothing, mansions, parties, women, and above all, with alcohol. The fame of the drunk influencer followed him, but he didn't care and began to call himself the Pirate of Culiacan. He had up to 790,000 followers on Facebook, 37,000 on Twitter, and 323,000 on Instagram, and he thought he was on top of the world, even though his content was trash videos where people laughed at him, like one where he tried to ride a horse, another where he was scared by a tiger. Trash content. However, the thousands of followers and the partying life got to his head, and not being in his right mind, he made the wrong move.
El Mencho is the leader of one of the
most powerful groups and violent in the world, the infamous Four Letters Group. Its name should not be said in vain, and it has proven it on more than one occasion. He couldn't allow himself to be disrespected so lightly on social media. The fleeting fame then completely vanished from this boy. His desire to be a drug dealer and live by the bullet came on December 18th of the year 2017, but he found himself on the other side of the trigger. That night he went out for some drinks with friends at the Mentados bar in Jalisco when some men walked in and gunned him down. 15 shots extinguished his life forever and instantly. His family and grandmother were unaware of any potential income he could have earned as an influencer, if any. His body rested for 3 days and 3 nights in a morgue without anyone claiming it, and his grave to this day has an abandoned look. The thousands of followers, the fame and luxuries did not accompany him after his death, and that's just how it remained. Pamela Montenegro del Real was a YouTuber known as Nana Pelucas. Initially, she focused on creating children's humor. Her extravagant afro wig and high-pitched shrill voice helped her to target the children's audience. But it wasn't until she drastically changed the direction of her content that she gained repercussion. Keeping her wig and appearance, everything changed in the municipal elections of 2015 when she began to make criticisms and satires of politicians, many of whom were invited and interviewed on her YouTube channel named The Armchair TV.
After this was the worst administration we've ever had.
After they spent their time doing who knows what, because every time I went to the offices, I couldn't find a single one.
Are they asking for a bonus?
My boys?
What do you think?
I too aspire to be a councilwoman. Children, they do nothing. And look, they're doing really well. What do you guys think?
Because of the content of his channel, he became an influential voice in the Acapulco community. Blacksmith. This attracted annoyed glances from certain circles of power. In his criticism-laden humor, he pointed out the mayor of the municipality, Evodio Velasquez Aguirre, for corruption with Zonatur, which is a government body that promotes tourism zones and is on the verge of cohabiting with the criminal groups in the area. In addition to this, many suspected that Nana Pelucas was behind a blog and Twitter that exposed the criminal activity in Acapulco and the existence of the independent cartel of Acapulco, the acquired immune deficiency syndrome commanded by Jose Daniel Cervantes El Barbas. The threats to the influencer did not take long to arrive, and since 2016, he felt the fear of being a public person. Humor then gave way to terror. In February of 2018, in a restaurant named All Saints, located in his beloved Acapulco, she was with her producer, who was also her husband, her life partner. It was 19 hours when two armed men entered and pointed at the woman. She was killed instantly with 3 shots to the upper body. The case is still open, by the way. Mayor Velasquez Aguirre denied any information that tried to link him to the crime and the sadness. End of Nana Pelucas. Even Nana's husband recently said it was a lie that they received death threats. But then the questions are, did she upset someone? Important, why was the YouTuber's life taken away? Well, perhaps these questions will never be answered. They will keep hanging in the air as they have till now. What would you be willing to do to gain followers? Illuminati 6 was a user of Twitter, Reddit, and TikTok who accepted challenges in exchange for gaining more and more followers. His request was excessive and the young man didn't consider. He simply acted without measuring the consequences of insulting one of the most dangerous men in the world.
Look closely, son of your damn bitch mother. I don't give a damn about Mencho. I'm just telling you pure 420. I don't sleep like the pirate or the little Chanito from Culaca. I am immortal, I am untouchable, and I am a duck with the devil, bastard. So if you don't know about my existence, I came to you to send for Mencho, so I'm not afraid to say this, bastard. I say it out on cameras or here, bastard. The young man vanished from social media.
And it was speculated that the value quota he had to launch such an affront to the Mencho of the 4 letters is because he lived outside of Mexico, more precisely in Richmond in California. An attack in American lands for a simple insult could be very dangerous and crossed a crucial line between the cartel and the law enforcement forces of the United States. However, shortly after, Illuminati appeared from another account and with a very different tone than that threatening young man.
That day I woke up really stupid. I didn't consider the consequences and was swept away by the followers. And I apologize. I care about you and your family. And they have told me, don't kill me, man. I have a family just like you. And I ask for my apologies. Here we all make mistakes and... Well, God is watching everything. So I apologize because honestly I didn't know what I was doing. We all err and I suffer from mental issues, so... Remember, sir, that you are loved. Greetings.
On the other side of the world, they also speak with social networks and with violence. Moise Moore was a gym trainer who started uploading content on TikTok about personal care, workouts, and life advice with beautiful phrases.
And self-improvement. Swim
World's most populated. This fame prompted him to enhance his videos' quality, making them more emotional and touching. Life lessons and examples of citizenship. He reached 500,000 followers on TikTok and millions of hearts in the applications. And it's that crime exists in all countries. And offending these ringleaders is something terrible, in both America and Asia. Moise Moore then got into a dispute over some properties and received 30 rupees, that is about $35,000, from a city crime boss named Mangu, who was killed by a rival gang led by Zandev. This criminal leader demanded Moise to pay those rupees, to which the coach, fitness, and influencer refused. In his logic, he owed that money to Mangu. His death absolved him from any payments. Zandev then sent a 17-year-old teenager to collect the debt, and on that occasion, Moise beat up the young man. The criminal leader, furious, offered the embarrassed teen to take out the influencer. And so it was that on the 21st of May 2019, referring to Moise, he visited a friend at his shop, a photocopier located in the city center. And while talking with his friend, he saw the teenager he had humiliated enter with 2 other men. It was the last thing he could see. And they fired 13 times with the result of 7 deadly bullets. The influencer bled out on the store's couch and lost his life in seconds. The Indian authorities acted quickly and caught 2 of the 3 perpetrators. But the criminal leader fled the country, but not for long. Today, he is behind bars for ordering the crime of this influencer. Dancing in front of the camera with urban music, top brand clothes, jewelry, an influencer who came to have 500,000 of followers on TikTok. Unlike previous times, she was the danger. Sabrina Duran Montero was known as the Narco queen of TikTok, or simply the girl who led, along with her brothers, a powerful drug trafficking cartel in the Peñaflor sector in Santiago de Chile. From a criminal family, unlike other girls, she didn't grow up admiring Barbies or any Chilean television star. Her idol was Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, so she often used names related to the Sinaloa cartel boss for her social media, like Joaquina or Katrina Guzman. So, addicted to her phone camera, she gained thousands of followers and millions of likes on TikTok, flaunting her wealth, criminal lifestyle, showing off jewelry, designer handbags, manicures, cosmetic surgeries in the most exclusive private clinics in the Chilean capital, important footwear, and eye-catching. Meanwhile, the local police were tracking her, identified as the head of a Peñaflor criminal gang. So they managed to arrest her by following her social media. On the day of the police operation, the influencer attempted a cinematic escape through a window that resulted in a realistic ending when she ended up behind bars in jail. Her fame as an influencer didn't stop. On the contrary, it grew, and it was common for her to post content showing her designer clothes and the comforts she lived with in prison. The question here is, how was she allowed to have a cell phone in a place where it's supposed to be something forbidden? Another reason to show her power as the TikTok narco queen. Similarly, while serving her sentence, she also fell in love with her cellmate Antonella Marchand, another drug trafficker from the powerful and feared Marchand clan. However, beyond love, social media life gave her a chance to change the course of her criminal career. The millions of views and likes brought her closer to small businesses to advertise their products. She was compensated with cash or in kind. Yet her alternate life awaited her outdoors. In his brief 24 years, he made foes, and they soon came for her. On the 23rd of October of the year 2023, she was shot and killed in the street Her last video is of her crawling on the asphalt before the coup de grace from her perpetrator.
She had some protection because there were people who wanted to kill her, but I believe it was simply because they were envious of her. Because the young girl was... like, I don't know, she had personality, she made her TikTok ads, she danced, she was pretty.
The investigators still debate the reasons that put her in the crosshairs of the weapon that took her life. One theory points to a settling of scores due to an Instituto Nacional de Antropología y Historia order that skewed the existence of a young man. Although those most familiar with the streets of Peñaflor assured that the mind behind the attack against Sandra Duran Montero was the rival criminal gang, the Yoji Lili gang, also led by women and who had a years-long conflict with Instituto Nacional de Antropología y Historia and her brothers over control of the commune and the narcotics monopoly. From pizza delivery guy to millionaire, Fernando Perez Algaba boasted of having made his immense fortune from nothing through effort, brain, and talent. And he showed off the good life on his social networks, more specifically on Instagram, where he had almost 1 million followers. The influencer, upon emerging, divulged his adversity triumph story on multiple media platforms. He was a pizza and various food delivery man with which he bought a motorcycle. He enhanced it and sold it for a substantial sum. Then he found his great ability to buy and resell cars and motorcycles in a few years, plus a small fortune. However, he lost everything in the stock market. But without backing down, he recovered and became a successful trader who took advantage of the cryptocurrency bubble. In this new phase, Lechuga, as he was nicknamed, opened an office with dozens of traders under his command in the exclusive Puerto Madero in Argentina. He poured this experience into his social networks where he gave advice for traders. As his influence increased, he dedicated himself to being a speaker and attracted many investors to cryptocurrencies. However, his great passion was steel cars, especially high-end ones. He earned his reputation in this field with powerful people. Perez's business served as a front for laundering money. You know where we're going with this. He opened a company dedicated to renting high-end mid-range cars, jet skis, and yachts in Miami's tourist area, Florida, United States of America. He also maintained 2 traders' offices in Puerto Madero, Argentina, and another in Barcelona, Spain. On Instagram, he boasted about his luxury cars, lavish lifestyle, travels around the world, women, jewels, and every eccentricity you can imagine. However, behind the facade of pure shine, a person with problems was hidden, financially, with the wrong people too. Finally, it was July of the year 2023. Fernando was 41 years old and lived between Spain and the United States because in Argentina, he feared for his life. A series of businesses went wrong and he owed money to very dangerous people. Hoping to recover and return to be solvent, he returned to Argentina and would never leave the country again.
On Sunday, a group of kids who were playing soccer in this place that we are showing now found a small suitcase where inside were the 2 legs and the 2 arms of the businessman. The tactical divers, the scientific police, the volunteer firefighters started working, and on Monday they found the torso that was in perfectly sealed garbage bags, and on Tuesday they found the skull, the head of the businessman inside of
a backpack.
That's why this crime is still unfolding, and here we have a testimony key.
The current world is appreciated through the screen of a cell phone and the filters provided by social networks. Or at least, that's how millions of people around the world see it. The ostentation of luxuries, cars, jewels, mansions, parties measure success. And the desire of those who press the like button with a smile and the dream of being in these places. However, few measure the weight of fame, that sweet, bitter taste that everyone wants. The excessive ego of these influencers then led them to believe they were above the laws of other mortals, but their words managed to anger very dangerous people in crime, whose power is measured through bullets. Remember that on this channel there are videos Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. And if you want me to make another influencer video, you can leave it for me down below in the comments, or in general any topic, you leave it in the YouTube comments and I will gladly do it. I will respond to you.